Hey there, it's Tracy with Trixie Scraps, and welcome to another episode of Scrap Saturday, where I work on getting some layouts done in my family albums and hopefully show you some tips and tricks along the way. This weekend, I am showing you my brand new Easter kit that just released yesterday. It is a faith-based Easter kit, which I think is a segment of our market that is actually kind of neglected. I have often gone searching for some faith-based kits, and they are few and far between and hard to come by. So if you are a Christian like me and you've been looking for an Easter kit that celebrates the true meaning of Easter instead of all of the candy and Easter bunnies and Easter eggs and all that kind of stuff, then maybe I've got the kit for you. So I'm going to give you a few quick looks here at what's in the collection, and then I'm going to start on this layout. I have a couple of pictures over here to the side. This is my niece Mackenzie. These pictures are a few years old. They're from 2011, but I was going through my pictures and I didn't really have any Easter pictures that I wanted to use, and so I went and stole these off my sister-in-law's Facebook page with her approval. So anyway, she's a cutie patootie. We'll get into that in a little bit, but the new kit is called His Glory, and it is, pinks and blues and yellows and greens, and it's kind of pastel-y, just lots of flowers, lots of little sweet feminine touches, obviously some religious, inspired elements with some crosses and things like that, and some word art. So that's the kit, and let's take a look at the other pieces that I have. There are bonus alphas. So it's just a, glitter alpha in several different colors. I like the scripty kind of font here with this kit. I think it looks really nice with the papers and stuff that are in the kit. There are some bonus papers, of course. So just some scallops, some polka dots, some stripes, and some houndstooth. And of course, all the colors of the palette. Let's see, of course, what collection of mine is complete without cardstock. So I do have some cardstock for you. 2 different patterns and all the different colors. The kit alpha is a wooden alpha. We'll just pull up the A so you can see what that looks like. And let's see. I'll go through the kit papers and kit elements as I work on the layout. I do have pocket cards for this collection, for those of you who are pocket scrapbookers. And these also work great just on regular scrapbook pages as well. So there is a set of 12 of those. And let's see. Of course, I have some quick pages for those of you who just like to make things quick and simple and easy. They're there for you. I also have a set of timelines for your Facebook pages. So these will be great this spring. It's super quick and easy to just pop some pictures into them and then save it and put it on your Facebook profile. And of course, word art, because, I just love word art. It makes for titling your pages pretty easy. I actually think I'm going to be using this Easter Blessings word art for this particular page today, because I am all about getting things done quick and easy. So let's take a closer look at the kit papers. I'm actually going to make this go up a little bit. Actually, let's just cycle through them real quick. We have an ornamental, some stripes, some hearts, some flowers. I think those flowers are really sweet. A more bold flower pattern, some hearts again, another ornamental, some damask, and of course the same wood that I used to make that alpha is in the kit, and then of course some coordinating solids. And then we'll go through the elements real quick, and then we'll get started on this layout. For some reason, bows are like a thing that a lot of my spring I don't use them all the time, but I feel like on my spring layouts I use bows a lot. I don't know if you guys are like that, or if that's just a me kind of weird thing. I don't know, but that's how I am. So lots of bows in this kit. I was just in a bow kind of mood. I think there's 4 different ones. Some buttons, of course, because every kit has to have buttons. We have an extra little card that I had 13 of them when I did them, so I threw one in the kit and then made my set of 12. And then there's a glittered cross, and there's a metal cross. It's kind of ornate and swirly. And then, of course, a wooden cross as well. And, of course, we have a couple of flares. And then some flowers. Lots of flowers in this kit. I've got some fabric flowers, different things like that, and some layered flowers. Lots and lots of flowers in this kit. That's what you need for an Easter kit. And we have this pretty frame, and then another frame. We have a couple different kinds of journal spots in this kit. The lace is probably part of one of my favorite things in the kit. I really love this lace a lot. I'm actually going to use the lace on that delicate lace on the layout today, I believe. Some different leaves and some ribbons, some string, some swirls, 2 different colors on those, some more tags, and then a wooden tag, and then one with a cross cut out, and then of course the word art, which I use that same scripty font and some glitter on those just to give a little bling to the kit. So there you have it. That's everything that's in this new collection, and without further ado, I'm going to get started on my layout. I don't really have any specific technique in mind today, I don't think. So let's start. I'm actually going to start from scratch today. Hopefully it'll go pretty quickly. I kind of have an idea of what I want it to look like, so hopefully I'm not doing myself in by starting from scratch and can get this done fairly quickly. As usual, I am probably going to do some things to these photos just to kind of make them a little bit better. So the very first thing I'll do is a Control L and play with the levels on these a little bit. So wherever you have a flat spot like this on your levels, it's always a good idea to try and pull that up so that your arrows are kind of all encompassed by this information here, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And I usually pull the shadows in a little bit, and this one, I think that looks good. I may play with the saturation on these too, but we'll see. I'll wait until they're on the page and see how they look with the actual kit itself. So I like to kind of pull these in to where they're kind of, if you want to think of this like a mountain, I like to pull the arrows in until they're kind of touching the start of the mountains. This is generally my rule of thumb for how I play with the levels on my photos. And it just does a lot to kind of, you know, improve your photo. It's real simple just to play with that levels dialog, but it really kind of makes your pictures pop a little bit more. And I do think that I may go to the adjustments, the hue saturation, and I may just bump the saturation on these just a bit. Maybe by 5 or maybe by 10. 10 might be too much. Let's see. Let's look at this before and after. Yeah, I think I am going to go with 10. I like how that warms up her skin just a tad bit. So I'm going to go ahead and do that with each of these. Okay, so I'm back. I went over and I looked at some of the questions that came through on my last video, or the last few videos actually, and this was one of the ones. This is from Mary Kate, who is actually on my team, and she had some general questions for me, so I guess I'll try and work on answering these while I work on this page. Okay, so she wanted to know if I make my own actions or if I buy actions from other people. And I have to be honest, and I tell you that I generally buy actions from other people. I do have some that I've made that have automated my workflow a little bit and made things a little bit easier. But in general, I don't know, I'm not an action maker. I've never made any that I've sold or anything like that. I just pretty much rely on purchasing the ones that I need, and I don't really have too many actions that I use as far as my scrapbooking goes. I do have some like photo actions and stuff that I've downloaded from various sources, but for the most part, I don't really use too many actions other than I do every page I have a save for web action that I tend to use. So I do use that a lot, you know, when I get my page done. But most of the actions I have are all for creating kits and stuff like that. There's not really too many that I have that are for scrapbooking layouts. Let's see. I like her expression on that one, so we're probably going to make that one the largest focal photo of the page. Let's see. Size this down a little. I don't know. Let me see what else. I have some stitching actions I use, things like that. But I use styles, to be honest, more than I use actions. Yeah, that's my answer about the actions. Let's see. What else did she ask me? Oh, and as far as like other actions and styles that I bought, I am a huge fan Leah, I don't know if you watch my videos or not, but I am a huge fan of Mommyish. I own a ton of her stuff. I love her styles. I love her actions, so I buy a lot of stuff from her. But yeah, so that's pretty much where I get stuff from. Um, and mostly the stuff I use is for designing. And I'm sorry I'm rambling. I'm probably not making any sense. Do I feel I have any weaknesses when it comes to designing? My husband will yell at me when he watches this video. And by the way, I have one of the most supportive husbands ever. I love him dearly. He does watch every single video I do, and he always comes back and tells me what he thought of them, which is always usually positive because he's just sweet that way. Um, but yeah, I do actually. I don't feel like I am the best illustrator. I have a lot of insecurities when it comes to drawing. So I have had a tablet for years upon years, and I hardly ever use it because I am just a mouse girl. I like the feeling of a mouse in my hands, and I cannot get used to a pen and tablet. And a lot of the stuff, when I do draw things for my kits, a lot of the time they're made from shapes, and I have gotten very adept at warping shape paths and editing shape paths, adding points, changing the curves of things so that I can achieve the things that I am looking to do using shapes rather than trying to draw freehand. I'm not a very good doodler. It's something that I have always felt is a weakness of mine. More often than not, I can get done what I'm trying to get done with shape tools and stuff like that. So, yeah, that would probably be my weakness that I would think that I have. I really wish that I could draw better, and I've often thought about taking some art classes. So there you go. Are there things you want to learn more about? Yes, I have actually thought about taking art classes and learning, how to sketch better and different techniques for how to become a better drawer, artist. How do you say that? Yeah, how to become a better illustrator. Let's just put it that way. But I just, you get so busy in the business of life and doing things all of the time that sometimes stuff like that, it just kind of goes by the wayside for me, I guess. So I probably should put a paper on the back of this so that you guys can see what I'm doing, or I'll just put a solid color for now. I don't know what I'm going to do with papers yet, so I'll just put a solid color so you can see what I'm doing. But the general gist here is I kind of want to have this lace, and I want to kind of make like a rectangle out of it to kind of, almost like a border around these photos. So that's what I'm going after next. See, I love this lace because it's so delicate looking. So we're going to go kind of like this, and then... So yeah, I think I did get a couple other questions, but they're more like technique based, like how do you do this or how do you do that, and they're more appropriate for a Masters Monday tutorial video in the future than for these videos, which are just kind of meant to be sort of chatty Cathy. Chatty Cathy. So I will try to cover some of those other questions in the future. But I would really, if you are interested in learning anything about, I don't know, how I got started, or, I don't know, just anything, any silly questions you guys have, please do leave them in the comments down below because, I don't know, sometimes I struggle for stuff to chatter at you about, and having those questions gives me kind of a roadmap for the things people would like to see and learn about me, which would be nice. Yeah, no, I want to turn this way. I want this scallops to face in. And I think I'm gonna probably run this like right there. And I want them to be the same height. You're my same height. That is neat. Name the movie. That's one of the funny things at my husband. It's a funny quirk of our relationship. It kind of drives my mom a little bit crazy, I think. But Eric and I are big movie buffs. We love movies, and we often quote movies to each other, speak to each other in movie lines. And we do it around my mom, and my mom's like, "Would you stop doing that? It makes me crazy." Um, so anyway, that's one of the things that we do a lot. And if you know the movie that I just quoted, I will be super impressed and might even send you a coupon code. um, just because it's one of our favorite stupid silly movies, and I don't know if a lot of people know it. I've had a heck of a week. I have not been feeling well, and unfortunately on Tuesday night I had to take a trip to the emergency room. Female problems, which were not fun, and I don't know, everything checked out okay, but it's been an ordeal this week. It's just not been a lot of fun to be me. So I apologize if I seem a little scattered and spacey today. I kind of am a little scattered and spacey today. Things have just been a little not fun lately. So that's a general idea of what I'm going for here. What color do I want on here? Let's do green. At this point, I'm going to do a bunch of different squares and things like over here in a column underneath these photos for papers. That's what I want to do. So, let's see. I'm having a hard time thinking of things to talk to you guys about. Can you tell? It's just been one of those weeks. I just really haven't been feeling well at all. I've been kind of a little, I don't know. By the way, the colors on these do not matter at all. Like, it's just really just for me to have something to clip papers to later instead of cropping them. This is my stupid way of doing things. Maybe not stupid way, my shortcut way, I guess, of doing things. Makes it a little easier for me. So I'm just literally changing the colors on them as I go so that I have an idea of what's what, I guess is what I want to say. Let's actually go to a different color. This is gonna look toe up ugly, I promise you, until until I start putting papers on it. Okay, I had a little interruption there. It was my dad calling to make sure I was doing better. It was a sweet phone call. Anyway, I played with the placement of these blocks a little bit while I was on the phone, and I think I have them pretty much set where I want them to be. So the rest of this is just going to be putting papers on these different blocks, adding some embellishments here and there. I am going to add the word art as a title across the top here, and I'm going to journal a little bit here. And then this page is going to be done. So since I've roadmapped where I'm going with this, I'm going to go ahead and put the video on fast forward from this point, and I should be done in just a couple of minutes. Enjoy watching. Okay guys, there you have it. That's my layout for today. I'm sorry that I was kind of not more chatty than or like I usually am. I just, like I said, I'm just really not feeling all that well, and I just kind of wanted to honor my commitment to getting a layout done and posting an episode for you all, even if I didn't really have a lot to be kind of chatty about. So just real quick, I'll go over what I did. I put all the different, pattern papers on the blocks, and I noticed the leaf cluster that was in the word art, so I kind of wanted to carry that across the page. So I used the same flowers in my two other spots to make my visual triangle around my photos. And I did add some extra leaves to kind of just make it a little bit more rich looking. Added the swirl in each of the spots, added this bow, and added a little tag with the date for the photos. Oh, I did change the background because I wasn't liking how the green looked. And then I tried, you might have seen in the fast forwarded section, I was going to go with like a subtle white stripey kind of look, and then I didn't really like that either because the lace was disappearing. So in the end, I settled on blue, and that was probably the choice I should have made all along because it pulls the color right out of her dress, and I think it pulls the whole layout together really well. And then, just did my journaling, and like I said, used the word art cluster for the title, made it really super quick and easy. So that's my Scrap Saturday episode for today. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I would love to ask you to subscribe to my channel so that you never miss another video again. And again, I'm going to repeat myself. If you have questions for me, if you want to know a little bit more about me or about my business or about digi-scrapping, please leave those questions in the comments down below this video so that I can answer them for you on a future episode. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.